All right, ready for a deep dive. Today we're heading down to Belize.
Belize.
Yeah, Dangriga, Belize, to be precise. It's the heart of Garifuna culture, and we're going to be spending some time with Pen Cayetano.
Oh, wow, the Pen Cayetano. I've heard of him, isn't he?
You've heard of him. He's only like the king of Punta Rock.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, this is going to be good. He's the real deal.
Exactly. This isn't just about listening to his music, though. We're actually going inside his studio.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
Like where the magic happens.
Where the magic happens. Can you imagine? So before we get ahead of ourselves, for those who might not be as familiar,
Yeah, good point.
why is Dangriga the place to understand Pen Cayetano?
It's more than just his hometown. Dangriga is like, imagine the most vibrant, alive place pulsing with Garifuna culture. That's Dangriga. And Pen Cayetano, he's all about amplifying that experience. It's like the location itself adds another layer of meaning to his work, you know?
Right. It's like you can't separate the art from the environment it came from.
And you can't separate Pen Cayetano from Dangriga. But listen, his influence goes way beyond just music, too. He's a painter, a cultural ambassador.
Yeah.
The guy even received an MBE for his impact.
An MBE. That's incredible. See, this is what I mean. He's not just a one-hit wonder, so to speak. He's multi-talented. But you mentioned the music, and we got to talk about that for a second.
Right, of course, Punta Rock.
Yeah, Punta Rock. What was it about creating this new genre that mattered so much? Because it wasn't just about, like, mixing sounds together, was it?
No, not at all. Imagine this. It's the late 1970s. You've got Garifuna youth. They're caught between traditional music and all these newer genres flooding in. Cayetano sees this, and he takes these ancient rhythms, the heartbeat of his culture, and blends them with electric guitar, basic, instruments of the youth at the time.
So it's like he made tradition cool again for a new generation.
Exactly. But more than cool, it was revolutionary. Think about salsa, right? Its rise in the 70s. It drew on Cuban roots, but incorporated jazz, rock. It wasn't just about the music itself. It was a statement.
That's a really good point. So by creating Punta Rock, Pen Cayetano, he ensured that this music, it wasn't stuck in the past.
Yeah, it could evolve.
With its people.
And you know what? It put Garifuna music on the map globally.
Huh.
Suddenly, it wasn't this niche thing. It was exciting, new. People were moving to it.
Which makes this studio visit even cooler, right?
Yes.
But I know he's not just a musician. There's this whole other side to him, the visual artist.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine, like, vibrant colors almost exploding off the canvas. But they're not just pretty. They tell stories.
Okay, so what kind of stories?
He captures everyday Garifuna life, fishermen, markets, children playing. But it's the way he does it, you know. He highlights the beauty in the everyday.
He's telling their story, visually.
Exactly. And he doesn't shy away from the tough stuff either. You'll see themes of struggle, resilience. It's a reminder of their history.
Wow. Okay, so it's not just aesthetically pleasing. It's like a window into an entire culture.
And we get to experience that firsthand in his studio gallery.
Oh, right. I almost forgot. It's not just a workspace. He's got this whole gallery, which, we're about to go to. What makes it so special? Is it like a museum?
More like stepping into a living, breathing culture.
Yeah.
It's in this beautiful colonial era building, which just adds another layer of history, right?
Yeah.
You'll find his paintings, obviously, even murals. But there's also incredible textile art by Ingrid Cayetano.
Wait, Ingrid Cayetano? Like his wife?
Yeah, his wife. They're both artists.
That's incredible. Their studio must just be bursting with creativity.
It's electric in there. And it's not just about observing art either. They offer drumming workshops, art classes.
Oh, wow.
Imagine learning to drum to those infectious Punta Rock rhythms, surrounded by artwork that tells the story of those rhythms.
Okay, now that's an immersive experience.
Right.
It's one thing to see art in a museum. It's another to learn the techniques, the traditions behind it, right there where it's created.
It's a whole other level.
It makes you kind of wish you were a more hands-on kind of person, to be able to learn from them directly like that.
Well, even just experiencing the gallery is a way of connecting with the culture. It's like Pen Cayetano understood that to keep these traditions alive, they had to be accessible, engaging. And that's what this space seems to embody.
You mentioned earlier how his paintings often depict everyday Garifuna life.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite example? I'm curious about the details.
There's this one. It shows a bustling marketplace, women in colorful dresses selling fruit, kids running around the stalls, fishermen in the corner mending their nets. It's so detailed you can practically feel the sun and hear the noise.
Wow, it's really amazing how a painting can do that.
Yeah.
Transport you like that.
It's powerful.
You mentioned earlier, too, that he doesn't shy away from tougher subjects either. So how does that play out in his work?
There's this other piece, much more somber. It depicts the Garifuna arrival in Belize small boats, tossed on a stormy sea. You can see it in their faces, uncertainty, fear. But there's this underlying strength, too.
It's like he's capturing not just a moment in time, but this whole historical and emotional landscape.
Right. And it makes you think art can be a form of resistance, a
Absolutely.
way of holding on to your story.
Especially for the Garifuna people. I mean, they were forcibly displaced from their homeland, so to hold on to their culture like that.
It's an act of defiance.
Exactly.
And, that takes us back to Pen Cayetano's other act of defiance, creating Punta Rock.
Right.
We're talking about how it bridged the gap for the younger generation.
Right, right. But what was it about the music itself that resonated so strongly?
Well, imagine these driving rhythms, the drums, overlaid with the melodies of the electric guitar. It's infectious, you can't stand still.
It wasn't just a cultural fusion then, it was just genuinely great music.
Exactly, it had this energy, it transcended language, and within that energy, you could feel it, the history, the struggles, the soul of the Garifuna people.
It's like it goes beyond words.
It's visceral.
Totally. You can't just listen to a recording. You got to see it performed live.
Oh, absolutely. You have to really get it, to feel that energy from the musicians, the dancers.
The colors, the rhythms, the energy. It sounds like the kind of thing that stays with you.
Oh, for sure. And, that's what makes the Pen Cayetano Studio Gallery so special.
Because you can get a taste of it there.
It's like a microcosm of the whole experience. You can immerse yourself in the music, the art, the stories, and you can feel it, that same energy, everywhere.
We haven't even talked about Ingrid Cayetano's textile art yet.
Right.
What can you tell us about her work and how it fits in with everything else?
So Pen's work, it's bold, explosive, right?
Yeah.
Ingrid's is different, intricate, detailed, but just as powerful. Her tapestries, they often feature these traditional Garifuna motifs, spirits, animals, scenes from their folklore,
Woven in, right?
woven with incredible skill, like visual narratives
Yeah.
passed down through generations.
So it's like you have these two different artistic voices, but they complement each other.
Exactly.
Oh.
And together they create this richer picture of Garifuna culture.
And they don't just keep it to themselves, right? They're passing it on through the workshops they offer at the gallery.
Right. It's about sharing that knowledge.
So how do those workshops actually work to preserve these traditions? What does that look like in practice?
Well, imagine this. A group of kids, young Garifuna kids, learning traditional drumming
Oh, wow.
from a master. Or teenagers, learning the art of Garifuna embroidery from Ingrid Cayetano herself.
It's about more than just the skill, though, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's about connecting with your heritage, keeping those traditions alive.
Wow. It's pretty inspiring seeing how two people can have such a huge impact.
It really is. They stayed true to their roots, use their art to share the Garifuna experience with the world.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what I'm taking away from this is the power of art.
Absolutely.
To transcend borders, connect generations, keep traditions alive.
It makes you wonder, what will your contribution be?
It's a good question to think about. Until next time, keep exploring, keep those questions coming.